What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Gotta See, and I'm here with another podcast episode. I hope everybody has been taking care of themselves, mind, body, and spirit. And I always say that at the beginning of each podcast episodes because it is so true. If either one of those things are out of balance, then we are out of balance, and we are trying to move in a frequency that has us in alignment and in the flow of our purpose and in nature. Okay. So, first and foremost, if you are new to this podcast, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you are here. Be sure to follow me and subscribe me if you're into things like healing generational trauma, ancestral wisdom, metaphysics, just a wide variety of topics on healing. And I also have guests on this podcast episode sharing their expertise in different modalities as well. So be sure to go ahead and follow me and subscribe. And if you are coming back to this podcast episode, welcome, welcome, welcome back to my tribe. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are getting more vocal. You're sending me comments, you're sending me messages, and you really are enjoying these podcast guests that I've been having for the past couple of months. And I appreciate you so much. This is just the beginning. We are ending 2024 with a bang, and we are sliding into 2025 with lots of amazing things planned and in store for you guys and guests as well. Okay. So let me go ahead and get some more business out of the way so you guys know where to find me before we jump into today's topic. I can be found on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Substack, and Threads, all at Holistic and Spiritual AF, and that is and spelled out. And yeah, definitely check me out on whichever one of those platforms resonates with you the most. I put a little something different on each one of those, and I'm just continuing to grow. We're just growing the community, growing the tribe. Okay. So these episodes are usually posted on the first and the third Friday of each month at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I also come in between and I do my own personal story, my personal experience. Sometimes it's downloads. You just never know how spirit's going to move me. So be sure to go ahead and follow this podcast. Okay. One event we have coming up, or I actually have coming up, is a masterclass on Wednesday, November the 20th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is the Back to Balance Masterclass. We're going to be going over how to balance your chakras, how to go ahead and start getting your frequencies in alignment with the forward energy that we're moving into this age of Aquarius. So we're going to actually go over some different types of meditational techniques, practices, and tools you'll actually leave with that you'll be able to use at home anytime so that you can, rebalance and recalibrate whenever is necessary. Okay. Now, let me go ahead and get into today's topic and introduce my guest to you. This is November, and we are keeping with the theme of the brothers are doing the work because the brothers are doing the work. And this is another brother who is also doing the work, and he is not here to disappoint. I promise you that. So be sure to make sure you listen to this whole podcast. His name is Ahmad Hamdy, and he can be found on Instagram at Intuitive Ahmad. He is a life coach, a healer, and he specializes in trauma recovery and breaking negative cycles. He has a background as a professional basketball player, and he helps his clients to overcome challenges, heal their traumas, build healthier relationships, and achieve personal growth. Okay, so be sure to follow him as well. I'll have all this information down in the description so that you can follow us both and also get that information about the class. Okay, so today he's going to be taking us into his personal experience and his personal journey and getting real raw and honest and vulnerable with us. And he's going to talk to us about how he was able to heal from sex addiction and find his purpose from there. So you don't want to miss this episode. This is another fire episode. This is also a video podcast. You'll be able to see that on YouTube as well as Substack. Okay. So without further ado, y'all, let me go ahead and get into it. All right. So thank you so much, Ahmad. It's been a pleasure talking to you already. I am so grateful that you decided to do this podcast episode with me. And I'm really excited to get to know more about your journey. I've been following you around on Instagram. You're doing some pretty deep healing. And I'm excited to have you on this month, specifically when we're showing that brothers are doing this work too, ladies. There's brothers out here doing this deep healing work. So welcome, welcome to Holistic and Spiritual AF podcast. And if you don't mind, like I know that you're into quite a few things. You're into Tantra healing, you're into Theta healing, prana healing, you're into the deeper forms of energy healing. So just tell me a little bit like how you got started on your journey and like what led you down this path.
First, I want to welcome you, Sapor. I'm really happy that I'm here in your podcast. And by the way, this is my first podcast after my whole journey, and I finally know my path, and I know I'm here just to help others people, and I commit to this. I start my journey with my injury on my left knee when I was 20 years old. It was a heart surgery. I couldn't come back because I was playing basketball. I couldn't come back to sport. I couldn't do anything. And doctor told me that you will never gonna come back to play any kind of sport again for the rest of your life. You need to cope yourself on the daily life and just, don't do any kind of hard workout or anything. But I didn't believe in that. And at this moment, I started to know about energy work and about subconscious mind work. And when I start to work on myself subconsciously and I do the healing work that I learn, suddenly I start to come back and play sport and my knee healed fully.
Wow.
So from here, from here, I start to believe in energy work. I start to believe in subconscious mind work and I start my journey. And once I start my journey, I met my beautiful wife. Actually, she's my twin flame. And here we're, like to say, like we become like a one soul, and all the triggers and all the darkness start to show
Mm,
out. Okay. So we start both in the journey of healing. We start to the journey of learning. We went through psychedelics together. We went through a lot of spiritual practice, tantra, a lot of things just to heal our relationship. And I start to know about wounds from the past, our father wounds, mother wounds, ancestor
mhm,
wounds, even past life wounds. Like
mhm.
our first connection, we saw a past life together. And I start to know about all of this. And I start to do healing. And we went through divorce and we went through ayahuasca, mushrooms, a lot of healing things until we come back again together. Because together as the one soul, we couldn't because the energy was so strong that, you know, full of triggers that we like twin flame connection that, you know how it is, that's
Mhm.
really triggery. It just, you need to heal yourself and it teaches you a lot about the spirituality. And from here, my journey started. And I just, after my last ceremony in ayahuasca, I start seeing who I am, and I start seeing myself as a light worker, and I'm here just to help people to reach to their best potential and heal themselves on their body, their mind, and spirit.
Wow. Yeah, that's intense. I love it. I love to hear people's journeys about the different paths that we take. I think it was really exciting hearing about you and your wife and being a twin flame and being past life, together in that life as well. And what you described was like a true tantric and twin flame relationship because a lot of times
Yeah,
people think it's going to be all about the sex or it's going to be all the fun stuff, which really is the total opposite. It's like these spirits are here to bring the most intense amount of healing out of each other. And so it
yeah,
can be uncomfortable and it can get pretty dark. And you're talking about serious shadow work, but I think that those twin flame connections are really kind of that's the purpose of them, and if you guys get to survive to the other side, to the healing side, then you get to be together, which it sounds like that's what you did. I think that's very interesting. And I also like what you talked about the injury and how you connected that to the subconscious energy of the knee itself. And I think that's what miss was it the knee or the ankle?
no, it was the knee, and I want just to add something about this because we always
Sure.
like everyone is focusing only on the physical body. Like I have an injury, I'm gonna treat it, like I'm gonna to go and take a medicine, I'm gonna go to do this, but deep down on your spirit and your subconscious mind, there is a deep belief in your subconscious mind which is blocking the healing of your knees or limiting belief. Sometimes people they have pain in their knees because they don't feel free, so their knees blocking the energy there and don't make them free in their life. And once you heal this, their knees start to come back
Hmm.
and feel free and just healed. So this is what
Absolutely.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, and most people don't get that though. That's the thing. Particularly in Western society, it's just to treat the symptom. It's not about the energetic portion of healing as well. So I think that's phenomenal. And the fact that you were actually able to heal that, those are we have the power to heal ourselves capabilities, So that's very, very interesting. So you talked a little bit about the psychedelic experiences. You kind of glossed over it. I definitely want to go back to that. So how did that even become a thing? Like that you were going to do it and then both of you were going to do it.
I start my psychedelic experience with mushroom, and I start with my twin flame with my wife. Like I start with her. We had the first psychedelic experience mushroom together, and it was the most intense moment because I start seeing her shadow and she starting seeing my shadow and we start lashing on each other. So okay, my father don't like you, and she told me like my family don't accept your religion, and we start like fighting during the mushroom, okay, and
Mm,
then we come back to love, and then fighting, and then we come back to love. It was like this all like for from 4 to 6 hours like this, intense,
mm,
intense, and we see our pattern, and then when we just speak out our patterns, we come back to love. And this is how it is. Once we start, everyone heal his shadow, we come back together. So this
yes,
is was the
yes.
first, yeah, this is was the first psychedelic experience together. It was mushroom, and we had couple of it after. I had also separate by myself, and I will speak about the most intense psychedelic experience, which is ayahuasca.
Mhm,
Okay, mushroom show us the pattern, but it didn't heal us. It just was showing us what's pattern in our life, and then when we realize it, we start doing the work to heal it. But in ayahuasca, it showed me the patterns, everything about myself, the darkness, the deep darkness from past life, from my ancestor, from the DNA, everything. And it didn't leave me until I healed it. I start, yeah, like, was one of the most intense moments in my life that I start throwing out a lot of darkness. I start feeling a lot of pain in my body. I start seeing past life where I was a dark magician, like why I
mm,
came here as a light worker because I was doing dark work before,
mhm,
and I start seeing the pattern. Uh, Ayahuasca show me a lot of pattern in my life, a lot of pattern even in my relationship, and it didn't leave me until I healed it immediately. But you feel the pain, you
mm,
feel the pain of what you did, and you need to release it. But at the end, I just like it was 3 days. The first day was about healing my relationship with my wife because at this time we got divorced and everyone was separated totally. And I saw my pattern and I started to heal it that I was seeing my wife as a God. So
mm,
God just make us separate to see who truly God it is. And once I hear this and I just connect to God again, I felt the energy of God. Second day was all about darkness and facing the darkness and what I did from the past life and how I healed my darkness. I had addiction. I had a lot of things that I healed. Okay. And it just was releasing out of my body through throwing out, through coughing, through a lot of things. And the third day, it was teaching me about how to heal people through acceptance and love and forgiveness.
mm,
So it was showing me that through love and through acceptance and through forgiveness, anything can be healed. So it bring me back even the darkness that I saw the second day, and it showed me the darkness again and told me that if you accept, if you loved, if you forgive this darkness, it's gonna disappear forever. The lesson
mm,
from all of this just it's here to teach you a lesson. So it just you need to embrace your darkness. You need to accept your dark side and your light side because the dark side is serving the light side because if you didn't go through the darkness, you were not gonna be in the light. So all about it just to be accept and forgive and just to love. And once I did this and I start feeling this, I start feeling the energy of love from God. I started feeling one
Mm-hmm.
with God. And here where is the journey, and I finish with ayah. Like just this is the lesson. It's just to feel the unconditional love. So you're not gonna reach to unconditional love until you accept and forgive and love.
That's it.
So this is my
Wow.
experience through psychedelics, and it was really super powerful. And yeah,
Yeah, that sounds powerful. I mean, the whole thing, I was just listening to you and I was resonating with it. It sounds like a really intense, like, shadow work times 150, like, and the fact that you could see it and the fact that you could gain the actual awareness of past lifetimes and how that's affecting you today. And then I love how you capped it off with the fact that it all came back to acceptance, forgiveness, and love. And those things are
yeah,
so powerful, not only for healing yourself, but helping to heal other people. Because most people are battling with that. There's things that they're not accepting. There's people that they can't forgive. They can't forgive themselves. A lot of times we're the hardest on ourselves. And then, of course, once you rid these blockages, you're able to integrate. I actually wrote a book, The Five Stages of Shadow Work, and one of the stages is to integrate that dark and the light, for total acceptance of self. And then you can actually let in the sunlight of divine source energy. Then you can start to feel and vibrate on that frequency. And that's so amazing because, I've been on the journey for a long time, but it wasn't until recently where I realized that I was not plugged into source energy. Like once I was able to
mm,
be like directly plugged into that source energy, everything just opened up tremendously. The way that I felt about myself, the ability to attract people to me, the light working, the being confident about going out there and sharing the gifts, and even this connection today. Like that's what I said at the beginning of this. Like these connections that I'm making with people are not by accident. These are like spiritual warriors on the path, light workers out there doing some amazing work. And when I saw you, I was like, wow, like he's really going deep. You don't see that on social media too much. So, I appreciate you for sharing that gift and taking your experience to help to heal other people deeper because we need that. We need to see more of that on social media, not just the trendy kind of stuff. So I applaud you for that. That's powerful. That is like such a powerful journey. And I thought it was kind of funny too that you and your wife were just sitting there fighting at the mushroom session. That's cute,
yeah, 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 yeah. I do. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. It was so funny.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you guys were expecting a trip, and you guys were like getting some deep healing going on, and but it did come back to love. And I think it's good that you have
Yeah,
somebody that's a willing partner, that's open, that's like on that same frequency when it comes to evolving spiritually. So, okay, great. So we
yeah.
talked about this.
And just
Yeah, go
I want
ahead.
just to add some. We came back together after my ayahuasca and after her ayahuasca ceremony because I did aya first and then she did aya after me. And once we finished our journey, we start like she even saw me in her aya, like my higher self show up there for her, and I was like waiting for her. At the same time, I feeling every single moment she is passing through there. I feeling her like her suffering, her down moment, her up moment, and I was sending her energy, and we were not together. But after her ayahuasca, suddenly we start to come back to the love again, and we connect back again. So this
Wow.
was really one of the powerful moments I ever felt. That I felt her during her aya, and I was
Hmm.
away from her. I was not with her.
Wow. Yeah, that's definitely some twin flame. How did you meet her? Like, where did you meet her at?
I imagine that I met her. I applied for. She is a coach. She is also
Mhm.
a coach, and I applied for her retreat in Dahab in Egypt, but I couldn't manage
Nice.
to go. And then I went there to meet her in person, and just we had a little conversation, like a friends, nothing. And then like
Hmm.
nothing, just we separate. We didn't have nothing. And then I just come back again to Dahab because I saw a Tantra teacher there. and I was so curious about Tantra. I want to learn about Tantra.
Mm,
So I went to the Tantra class at this time, and I told her I'm going to Tantra class, and I at this moment I booked a room in her house. Like she was renting a room for me, so I rent the room in her house, and I went to the Tantra class. And when I come back, I came back totally broken from Tantra class because I did some kind of energy exchange with the hand and a lot of energy that pushed
mm-hmm,
something from my heart out. So when I reached the home and I just reached to the my room, I started crying.
mm-hmm.
And I started telling her my experience and everything. And then I come back to my city. It's like it's Cairo, from Cairo to Dahab. It's like 7 hours. So I came back to Cairo, and then she went to the tantra class to learn
Oh,
about
wow.
it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that always helps. Yeah. I mean, I love that because I have
Yeah.
experience with Tantra too. So that's ideally how you want it to be. Like when I was practicing tantra, I was practicing solo tantra. I actually got initiated in level one by a teacher, and so I learned like cobra breath and a couple of different modalities, and it helped me tremendously. But it really helped me to heal on a deeper level too. So the fact that both of you guys were in there doing that work, that makes total sense because, yeah, it definitely helps when you have two people that are on that same path once again. So awesome. So you actually teach Tantra now. I'm guessing Tantra actually, really had a place in your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about
Yeah.
that.
But yeah. Okay, I'm teaching. What I'm doing for Tantra. I will not. It's not now in my plan in my business. It's in the future a little bit. I'm teaching people how to unlock their sexual energy from their root, from their sacral, to reach
Mhm.
it above and charge their body and heal themselves with this energy or use it for manifestation.
Yes. Yes. I love that.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm teaching even man, even during like because for man and woman is different, okay?
Hmm.
So for man, the tantra is about just to lift the energy even during orgasms. You don't need just to ejaculate or anything. You just can lift
Hmm.
your energy and have and separate your ejaculation from the orgasm. So you can have a full body orgasm without ejaculation and charge your body
Yes.
because man is different. If he ejaculate, he lose the energy. But for women, the tantra is different. Okay, or for women, she
Mhm.
need to. It's different. Like my wife, she's teaching now tantra for women and to unlock their orgasm because women don't only have one orgasm; they have like three orgasms, different three
Great.
orgasms. So they teach
Hmm.
them how to also have full body orgasm for women, and I'm teaching men how to have full body orgasm without ejaculation and how to use this energy for connection, for manifestation, for healing their bodies. This is what
Yes.
we are doing through press work. There is a lot of stuff that we are doing.
Yeah, that's deep. That's dope. Yeah, and that's the
Yeah,
exciting part of Tantra, but it takes work to get there. Like you said, it takes practice, just like any other kind of practice to be able to raise that Kundalini energy and then have that
yeah, yeah,
full expressive feeling, but also to get to that ultimate place of bliss too, where you're experiencing life differently. So yeah, I love it. So yeah, Tantra teacher, yeah, you're well rounded. That psychedelic experience, that ayahuasca and the mushrooms really took you
it
somewhere
changed my
different.
life. Yeah,
Yeah. So what
yeah,
were
yeah. It
were you
changed
like
my
even
life.
interested in any of this stuff before those experiences?
I was never interested in anything of this. I was just a basketball player, playing professionally in Egypt. I
Nice.
never think about something to heal people or to do anything. Just my injury brought me to all of this, and just wow, there is another
Wow.
really, yeah, there is another world, and I start to be so curious, and I want to go there. And also, what brought me to Tantra that I had addiction. I had like when I was like I had born a sexual addiction,
Hmm.
and this was so deep. and I couldn't heal it until I just passed by the tantra and by my relationship, and I start to heal it. And this is why now I'm gonna do the course about how to heal and break negative cycles on your body, mind, and spirit, because this is how I break my addiction, how I get out of it, how through healing myself on the body and mind and spirit.
So what, okay, I missed that. Like what type of addiction was it?
It was sexual addiction and
Oh,
porn
sexual.
addiction.
Gotcha. Yeah, I love that you were actually talking about the addiction because the addictions, no matter what kind, really, whether it's alcohol, gambling, food, any of that, is it's almost always connected to some deeper form of healing that needs to be had. So
Yeah,
Tantra,
yeah.
though specifically for sexual addiction, is going to be important. That was like one of the main reasons that I got into Tantra. I had been on my healing journey and path. Not, it was the opposite of that. It was, I had experienced quite a bit of sexual trauma that kind of
Mm,
imbalanced something in that arena and the use of sexuality and how I kind of misused that energy. And so I had a friend and he actually teaches it. And I was like, hey, I think I had knew enough about like spiritual practices to hear about Tantra. And I figured, let me try this. Maybe this will help me to heal some of that womb energy and that divine feminine energy and restore that and balance that. So I think it's very interesting that you talk about the other side of that too, the addiction side of that, and how you were able to heal that by utilizing this powerful sexual energy. Because a lot of people don't realize that sex energy is also the most powerful creative energy you can have. So that's why it ties into manifestation. That's why it ties into life force energy altogether. So
yeah.
that's very helpful, like to have somebody out there doing the work because we need it. We need people helping people with things that are like that because it's not the way that it used to be where everybody is like people are coming from some pretty rocky paths and we need all the damn light workers out there to like get out there and not judge people and know what it's like and be able to get in there and kind of help people to overcome these things. So that's awesome, and I'm glad you were able to heal that too. Great, great, great. I love it. So you are well rounded, and we talked about your different types of healing that you do. I want to talk a little bit more about your theta healing. I know that's a little bit more on
Yeah.
the quantum physics side, but I definitely want to talk more about that. Like, how did you get started in that, and like, how do you actually use that?
I just want to tell you, it's like if you look at my main tool that I'm healing people with, is Theta Healing. Theta Healing is the most powerful tool I had ever had in my life. So Theta Healing, basically, that I use it for um, going so deep to the core of the trauma.
Mm,
Okay. So once I go there, we see what kind of belief, what kind of lack of emotion there, and then we dig it out and we replace it with a new belief, and we fulfill this lack of feeling there. So it goes like this. I bring the client or my client just to the theta state, which is a state between this waking up and sleep. So they are in the theta wave. And once we go there, I try to bring them to the seven planes, which connect them to the God energy and bring their guidance and my guidance. And we start having some protection first. And then I guide the client through some questions so deep, and we go deep to the core of the problem that he came to
mhm,
me with. So sometimes this core of the problem take us to this lifetime when he was a child. Maybe he had a problem with his father or with his mother, like father wound, mother wound, or a problem or abusive moment. Sometimes they guide us to the ancestor DNA. When was the first time? Maybe some grandfather have
mhm,
something or some kind of belief that block some kind of flowing during the in the ancestor. And sometimes it brings us to past life, this core of trauma, and sometimes it brings us to the soul level, like the trauma on soul level. So
mhm,
it depends on the problem, and it depends on how the client ability to reach to where. And then when I reach to the problem, I clear it energetically and I clear the belief. and then I install a new beliefs, and we see what kind of lesson that he's learning through this. And once we are doing this, an immediate manifestation is happening through his life. Like I saw a lot of people that really having an immediate manifestation. One of them is me. Like
Mhm.
when I'm doing through healing for myself, immediately is that my reality shift because we are doing a healing on really a deep level.
Yeah. That is deep. I actually the guest that was on the episode before you, he's a guy. The guys are doing the work. I don't know. Us ladies gonna have to step it up. You guys are going in deep. He also does theta healing, and he was pretty much describing it very similar to what you just described. Going to the many different levels and depths of the person's trauma, whether that be soul level, past life, what's in the DNA. I'm big on that too because I'm big on ancestral healing and being able to heal that
Yeah.
trauma. But this to me would be the next step for anybody who is aware and they want to go to a deeper level of healing to be able to start to correct some of these things and these karmic cycles and get these lessons while the soul's having the journey on this planet. So yeah, and so like you've seen these manifestations happen like immediately after, like with you. How did that show up for you?
Yeah. It show up with always, with my wife immediately, like, because we always like we both are into theta healing. So once we have a trigger, I immediately go and start working on it. And suddenly when I start working on it, immediately I see a shift on her. Okay. And the same when she's doing this, I feel her energetically. And once she finished, she's doing it for me.
Mhm.
It's like immediately when she started doing it, I see us that shift in me. Like it's always when one does a work, you see a shift in the other person. Like we are all mirroring each other. So always I
Yes.
see my manifestation in her, and she's always see her manifestation like in me.
I love that. And
So
I'm happy
yeah,
for you that you have that, that you guys can actually continue to do that deeper work and that you connected in this lifetime. That's awesome. Do you have any children yet?
no, no, not
Not
yet.
yet. Wait till you guys have kids. It's probably going to be a whole nother like seeing your kids and you, it's going to be something else. That's going to be
Yeah,
really cool. They're going to have some cool parents. So that's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, so I think we covered everything. And like, so would you say, when did you get into Reiki? Reiki probably was like one of the first things you did, right? Like first forms of energy healing.
No, the first thing I did is pranic healing. Pranic healing
Really?
I did. Yeah, the first this is before even I meet my wife. I did pranic healing in Cairo, Egypt. Here I did 3 levels of pranic healing, and I did Reiki in Serbia with my wife. Like we both go for Reiki together. But what I want to say, like it's both are energy healing. Pranic healing is a little bit different because pranic healing is just based on clearing energy from the body first, like clearing the energy from the chakra, releasing the blocks, and then charging it with energy from God. And we use color to
Hmm.
charge the energy in every chakras. Reiki is different that you just go at every chakra with symbols without clearing, without charging, but just allow the energy of God and allow the energy of God's angels through you to heal the person. So this is the main difference between Branic and Reiki. Sometimes I feel guided to use Reiki with some clients. Sometimes like, I feel guided to use Branic. So I'm just following my intuition for what
Right.
I use.
That's what I was
Yeah,
going to say. I think with energy work, and when you're an energy worker, because I am too, you just kind of go with the flow of what's necessary for the
yeah,
person, the individual, and you just kind of combine it. For me, my first experience was through Reiki. Most people that I know is like Reiki or prana. When you said prana, I was thinking more of like the breathing. But
yeah,
yeah, like you gave a name to what I do already. So, but I think that's awesome. I think it's just clear to say you're an energy healer, an energy worker, a light worker, just well-rounded, definitely on the healing side of things. And you had to heal a lot in order to be able to help other people heal. That's what healers do. Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So, with all of that being said, I know that something else, and this is probably like a common sense question about the food and how that relates to energy. Anybody that is disconnected to energy, I know that clearly the food has to be. important to you as well. So how do you connect the two? Like,
This is I want to tell you that I stopped eating meat and chicken and any kind of meat for about 2 years now, and I cannot. Um, Once I start my relationship, we start to be vegetarian totally, okay? And this has helped me to just feel the energy and feel light, okay? Because during the sessions of Sarah healing, during the energy healing, you need a lot of guidance and you need a lot of to use your intuition ability and you open your third eye and to feel the light. Because when I when I eat meat and I eat this energy, it's a dead energy for me. So it
mhm,
brings me down. It pushes me to the earth, like it brings me to the earth. So I cannot feel really intuitive message and I feel block in my brain immediately. So now I honestly like the food is so important to just like if you eat really a good food that is suitable with your body, like vegetarian, vegan, or whatever, like you feel it's good for your body, like you feel intuitively it's good for you.
mhm.
It open your chakras, okay? It make you feel light. It make you like feel productive, uh, healing so fast.
Yes.
But when you start to eating sugar
Mhm,
a lot of like not good food, that deep, like if you ask your body, no, I don't want this food. It's just my, uh, like my addiction towards it, like I
yeah.
say, like yeah, my desire. So you're gonna put it like you will not allow your body to heal fast. You will become heavier and you're gonna just feel like this energy is stuckness.
Mhm.
You're gonna block your chakras. So the food is so important for just the healing and releasing all the toxic and all this like darkness from your body. And always me and my wife, we always go through certain detox, like once a month or twice a month, like every 2 months or 1 month, we go through certain detox just to detox our body from the food, from the toxin, and to feel light. And once even you do this, you start feeling triggers and all the traumas that inside of your body is going outside of you. Because if you're gonna eat a lot of food, it just keeps the traumas inside of you and you're not gonna feel it. But once you detox yourself from the food, from the toxin, from everything, the traumas even go out with it.
Mhm.
So you start healing it and see the pattern of your life and it starts becoming better.
Yeah, totally. And then, and you get to regenerate your cells, in your body. You stay younger looking, you feel better, you
Yeah.
sleep better, you have more energy, everything about it. And like you said, I think that when a person is on their journey and they get to a certain place, their spirit will tell them, and I think I got into mine like 10 years ago. I went plant-based and I was on and I was off, throughout the years, but I stayed on and I always knew when to just because I knew too much. Anytime I went back, I never went back to like red meat or like pork, but then sometimes I would go to chicken and
Mm.
all the stuff, like you said, the heaviness, the gaining weight, the blockages, and then I would try to do fish and, it just, my body would always be like, no, we want the stuff that is going to keep you vibrating higher. So yeah, I
It's a
say that,
raw, yeah.
yeah. And you in Egypt,
I
you
want
guys,
just to add, yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I want just to add something. Just like if I'm gonna tell people, just follow your body, like follow what your body need really. Just listen
Yeah,
to your body about the food. This is gonna help you a lot to eat whatever feels right for you.
that's true. And that's very true. I was going to say, you being in Egypt, you guys probably have access to much fresher foods. We have a lot of crap that you can choose from, even plant-based. A lot of times the
Mm,
plant-based stuff is so processed that a person thinks that
mm.
they're healthy, and you just really have to check the labels on those things too. So well, it has been a pleasure, having you on the podcast and talking to you and picking your brain. I definitely want to see and hear more from you. So tell my audience like how we can reach you and like if you have any classes coming up or where are you out there?
Yeah, you can reach me through my Instagram right now and my YouTube, which is Conscious Life with Ahmed. You can type it on YouTube and Instagram, you're gonna reach me. What's coming now is that I'm giving now one-on-one sessions about Sarah healing and energy healing. And I'm working more with women to feel safe with men and to attract the divine partner and also to heal their relationship with their father wounds
Mm,
and their past wounds. This is what now what most of the people come to me, like most of my clients now are women just to come to me to work on the relationship with man. This is now what I'm focusing on. What's coming also is that I'm gonna have a course that it's called How to Break Negative Cycle and Addiction on the Body, Mind, and Spirit. And it's gonna be a whole course. It's gonna teach you how to break the cycles and addiction from your spirit body on the energy level, how to do energy healing for yourself and how to heal your subconscious mind and your limited belief and how all of this going to integrate into your physical body and you heal your addiction. So it's gonna be a so
yes.
powerful course, and I'm sure about it because this technique, like I didn't see anyone before talking about it, and I just passed through it. This is why now I want, and it works for me. This is why now I want just to deliver it to the people, just because I saw a lot of people really at this world, like trapped into their addiction and their negative cycle.
Awesome. All right.
So
Well,
this is
that
what,
that
yeah,
does sound powerful, and I know it will be. And I know that you will have a lot of people sign up for that because a lot of people are suffering with things that they're just not talking to people about, and that's why we need to be out there sharing our gifts. So thank you so
yeah.
much once again, Ahmed. It was a pleasure to have you on the
You're
show.
welcome.
I know that I
Thank you.
will see you around, and I'll make sure that I put all of your information down in the description so that you guys can follow him. You can check out, see when he's having his course, and just know here's another one. Brothers are doing the work. All right. Until the next time, peace.